Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Yeah, I just well, happy Sunday morning. Just rolled out of my bed and yeah, I was like, should I continue to write the physics article? Uh, well, it's Sunday, right? So I don't feel like working. That academic writing is a lot of work, so it's Sunday, so possibly later in the evening, I might continue to write that physics article. But it's Sunday morning, so I'd rather just relax and rather than working on that. Yeah, so. Mm, yeah. I wanna. I don't wanna like write too much, okay? Because there's no rush, There's no deadline. The previous article, what's that? The political science article, voters equation. That one, yeah, I had to write before the general election in November. Why? Because I talked about my presidential candidacy. All right, but when it comes to this physics article, it's not. There's no deadline. All right, it has nothing to do with politics anyway. Right? It's just physics. So yeah, it's not necessary. There's no deadline basically. So I'm gonna keep pace and take time and so that the quality of this paper does not suffer. Because if I rush it, then yeah, So I just take time and write it in a more enjoyable way. Okay, so yeah, that's the whole point of writing this is to have fun, right? So yeah, if I write it with added stress and pressure, then it defeats the purpose. The whole purpose of writing this article is to have fun, intellectual entertainment. So, yeah, I take it nice and easy. Yeah, yeah. So, do you mind if I talk about this paper? Because it's in my mind. So basically, what we are arguing is this: inertial symmetry. What is inertial symmetry? It's this: when two objects, let's say there are two objects, okay, and they're coming together or going away from each other, okay. So 5 meters per second to the left, five to the right, and 5 meters per second to the left, okay. That is exactly equivalent to and symmetric to with 7 meters per second going that way and 3 meters per second going the other way, okay. And also 0 meters per second and 10 meters per second and 0 meters per second and 10 meters per second. All those situations are exactly equivalent and they are symmetric and there is absolutely no difference. Okay, so that's the inertial symmetry proposition. Why is it proposition? Because it depends on the people. If people accept it as truth, then it becomes an axiom to that person. If people refuse to take that as truth, then it's not axiom to that person. Okay? Yeah, it's all relative. Depend on individuals. Especially people who are subscribed to Einsteinism, Einsteinism, okay, Einstein relativity, they're not going to accept this as truth. Why? Because it will contradict their Einsteinian belief system, the relativity, Einsteinian relativity. Okay, so it depends on the individual. Okay, people have freedom of choice. So, what proposition they will accept as axiom? Well, it depends on the people. Okay, and yeah. So I'm a politician. I want to respect people's choice, democracy. Yeah, it's their choice. If they're gonna continue to accept Mr. Einstein, well, that's their choice. That's their right. Their freedom. It's like religion, right? Freedom of religion. Yeah, Einsteinian is very much religious. Okay, so light God. Okay, they take light as a God, absolute God, light. Oh, you cannot defy speed of light. It's absolute. It's God. That's Einsteinian religion. Worship of light, sun God. Okay, photon God. They take photon as God, something extremely absolute. Right? So much so that so Einsteinian fallacy is this: they assume there's some kind of absolute observer, like God, some absolutely static observer. So you can tell some absolute stop, absolute stillness, static object, and another object that is absolutely moving. That's Einsteinian religion. Okay, this absolutely static observer. That's Einstein's God. Okay. So Einstein relativity isn't about relativity, it's about absolutivity. Absolutely static object where time goes normally, and absolutely moving object where time slows down. That's Einsteinian fallacy and Einsteinian religion, which is a very wrong religion not to believe in. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm not ready to continue to write because I need to brainstorm with you. Okay. Uh, because yeah, ideas are being refined here. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's take 5 minutes. Okay. All right. Maybe 10 minutes. We're refining our ideas. That's very good. We keep thinking about it. Okay. So yeah. Okay, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. So, we are talking about relativity, right? And yeah, it's good that we have this time together here because we are brainstorming about this paper, and it's better that way because I'm not ready to write, continue to write because we have to organize this thoughts and ideas so that we can present in the correct fashion. In a more organized fashion. Yeah, we want to write this paper in a highly well organized way. So that's why I am not ready yet to continue to write. Um, because it's going to be a very important paper. Yeah. So we are dealing with axioms, okay? So you have Galilean proposition, Einsteinian proposition, and we're gonna examine both propositions and decide what proposition uh, to accept as self-evident truth axiom. Alright? So Einsteinian propositions are this, okay? They're absolute observer like God, okay? Absolutely static observer, all right? That's Einstein's position. So that there is absolutely static object and absolutely moving object. So in that, along that line of thinking, absolutely static object, time goes normally. But absolutely moving object, time slows down. That's Einsteinian proposition. Okay. I mean, result of Einsteinian axiom, which is the speed of light being absolute. Okay, and relatives. There's in Einstein's mind, there's no such thing as relative speed of light. Speed of light is absolute to every single observer, whether moving or not. That's why time has to slow down. Uh, why does time have to slow down? Because speed is distance over time, right? So there's light, and I'm moving toward the. So photon is traveling, right? And I'm traveling the same direction as photon. But so in order to make the relative speed of photon according to me, when I'm moving the same direction as photon does, light does, uh, time had to shrink. Time had to slow down. Why? Because distance between me and the photon is also shortening, shorter. Why? Because I'm moving in the same direction as light. Okay. Yeah. So that's the basic idea of time dilation, and also repercussion of that is also length contraction as well. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, according to Mr. Einstein, there's absolutely static observer and absolutely moving observer. So, an absolutely moving observer, uh, time slows down according to absolutely static observer. Okay, let's say I'm Adam and there's Bob. Bob is moving, so in my point of view, from my point of view, Bob's clock is slowing down. Okay, because Bob is absolutely moving, and me, Adam, I'm absolutely static. That's Einsteinian world, and we are saying that is very very wrong. Why? Because according to Mr. Galilei, Galilean world is this. Okay, there's no such a thing as absolutely static observer and absolutely moving observer. Okay, movement is defined only from relative term. Okay, so Bob moving and me being static is the same as, equivalent to, and symmetric with Bob is standing still and I'm going to the other direction. Okay, so the incompatibility between Einsteinian world and Galilean world is this. Okay, so let's say I'm static and Bob is moving, so Bob's clock is slowing down, and according to Bob's point of view, my clock is speeding up because I'm not moving and Bob is moving. Okay, so just like from my point of view, Bob's clock is slowing down. From Bob's point of view, my clock is speeding up. It's going faster than Bob's clock, right? But from Galilean point of view, this should be equivalent with Bob staying still and me traveling the other direction. So in that second scenario, my clock is slowing down and according to Bob, because I'm moving that way, so my clock is slowing down. And from my point of view, Bob's clock is speeding up because he's standing still and I'm moving that way. Okay? Because the gamma, the Lorentz factor, is like what 1 over square root of 1 minus v squared over c squared, right? So the directionality of v speed, it does not matter, okay, because it's v squared. Okay, yeah, so even if it's minus v, that minus sign disappears. That's Lorentz factor according to Mr. Einstein. Okay, so yeah, so it's asymmetric according to Mr. Einstein. Okay, Mr. Einstein is saying we can tell there's difference between Adam standing still and Bob going that way, and Bob standing still and I'm going the other way. Mr. Einstein is saying they are different. Mr. Galilei say they are exactly the same thing. Okay? So now we are being more organized, right? Good, good, very good. So it's up to people. It's not religion, all right? It's rationality, it's science. But there is some similarity between science and religion. So, kinda, all right? But our position is that science should not run like politics or religion. It should be barely, I mean, we even argue that politics should not be like religion, okay? It should be based on rationality and reason. Religion, it's not always rational. It's more emotional. It's blind belief. That's fine, but because that's what religion is. It's about a blind belief, and sometimes we need that, like faith, hope. We need that blind faith, blind hope. Sometimes we need that as human being. Like for example, I believed miracle would happen. It didn't. So what? Right? That's fine. Because I believed that I would win this election, I worked very hard on it, and I learned a lot from campaign, made people listen to them, learn great deal, because I blindly believed that I would win. Otherwise, I would not have worked so hard for this campaign, right? So it's a good thing. Religious belief, faith, hope, belief in miracle, even if that doesn't happen. Okay? Hmm? But in science, you don't want to blindly believe in Einstein or Galilei. You have to think, right? In science, you have to be rational and reasonable and look at Einsteinian and Galilean propositions from purely objective and scientific point of view. There should be no emotion involved or devotion or loyalty. No, that's more politics. That's science should not run like politics or religion. Okay, there should be no such thing as loyalty or fidelity or no. It should be purely objective. There should be no sympathy, no emotion involved. There should be just purely objective rationality. That's science. At least that's how it's supposed to be. Okay? Plot thickens, right? Yeah, it's getting very interesting. We'll take 5 minutes break, okay? So it's getting interesting. I like this. Okay. Very cool. All right. Okay. So we're having a great time here, right? That's awesome. Okay, we're having fun with science. Yeah. So next section I'm gonna write in this article will be Mr. Galileo. Maybe we should say Signore Galilei, but he's more well known as a Galileo by his first name, Italian name. So we just stick with Mr. Galileo. Okay. So if we compare Mr. Einstein and Mr. Galileo, okay, Mr. Galileo, he has many quotes, the famous things that he said about science and religion and philosophy. He sounds very much like a very wise man, but when you look up the quotes from Mr. Einstein, it does not sound as good. Okay, I mean he's brilliant scientist, very smart, and he made many contributions like popularization of tensor calculus, once very obscure branch of mathematics developed by Italians. Okay, Italy has many famous mathematicians like Tartaglia, something like that. So yeah, tensor calculus, Giordano, and Tartaglia, the famous ones, right? Giordano, he was a doctor, physician, okay, maybe surgeon, and so he kind of stole from Tartaglia, okay. With Tartaglia, that guy is the one who figured out the general solution for third order equation, algebraic equation, okay. Uh, Maybe third and fourth, okay. And but he told Giordano that because Giordano promised that he wouldn't tell anybody. Okay. But he did tell everybody. Okay. But he didn't quite steal it. He just broke the promise. Okay. And it's good that he did. Why? Because it needs to be known. But Tartaglia, he's like kind of secretive hermit like person, so he didn't wanna share that with the rest of the world. And Giordano acknowledged it is from Tartaglia. He didn't lie to people. He acknowledged it's from Tartaglia, but he did break the promise, and we are glad that he did. It need to be known, okay? So they are all Italians, okay? So and tensor calculus like Levitt Civitano, okay? They're Italians. Tensor calculus, and Mr. Einstein popularized this tensor calculus, which was very unknown before Mr. Einstein popularized it through the general relativity. Okay? Yeah, it's a huge contribution to mathematics and science, okay? Because tensor calculus is very beautiful. I don't know too much about it. I know just a little bit, okay? So it's about coordinate transformation and invariance, covariance, contravariance, which is fantastic concepts, okay? But I don't know too much about it, okay? So, and tensor calculus is very important, all right? It has huge application in engineering, okay? It is an important branch of mathematics, and it's very beautiful. I don't know too much about it, okay? Because I don't have time to study that, okay? So. Also, Peano was famous for like Peano axiom, Peano arithmetic, right? Italian, okay? So he is the founder, one of the key founders of set theory, right? Gero Cantor, he's not exactly a founder of set theory. His main contribution is popularization of set theory, but he didn't really contribute too much to set theory itself. He's not a founding, well, kind of minor founding member, okay. But yeah, Dirichlet, I mean, by the name, I guess he's French. I don't know. He's also a contributing member of set theory, okay, founder kind of figure. Yeah, and also yeah, Venn diagram, and also George Boole, right? Boolean algebra. Yeah, they are the founders of set theory. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Mr. Einstein, his quotes, what? Like God does not roll the dice. Not very smart thing to say, right? How does he know? He doesn't even have a religion. So Mr. Einstein, he's not atheist. It's just that he's not interested in religion. Period. Okay. He just was not interested in religion, so he didn't think about it. Okay. He said like God does not roll the dice because he was criticizing quantum mechanics. Okay. So which is fine. I mean quantum mechanics. Yeah. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Okay. So he didn't like that. Einstein did not like that. Okay. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle is it's quite simple actually. Okay, it has to do with this limitation of speed of light. So you cannot determine some subatomic particles position and speed at the same time because speed of light has limit. Okay, so yeah, so you observe the, let's say, atom or electron or proton, whatever, right? Positron, whatever. But by the time you make observation, the speed of light is limited. Okay, it's not infinite. Okay, so it takes time between you see the photon spot that atom or electron, and you take time to travel from this electron to my eye, to my eyes. So and by then, electron is gone somewhere because they're very small and very fast. Whatever, right? So that's basically Heisenberg's the uncertainty principle. Okay, so yeah, it does make sense. Okay, but Mr. Einstein did not like it. Okay, so he tried the unified theory. Okay, that's about generalization of this his general relativity, and he failed, and he will never succeed. Why? Because general relativity theory is wrong. Okay, so there will be maybe another paper. Okay, or another chapter in this paper. I don't know. Okay, so because this proof of that will be very short and sweet. It won't take too many pages. So, interesting time, right? Yeah. Okay, let's take a break. Okay, 5 minutes. Yeah, we talk enough about science, so maybe I sing a song or something. All right, we'll take 5 minutes. Okay. All right. So Einstein's quotes, they're not very high quality. Okay, it sounds like very arrogant person. Okay, his attitude isn't quite saintly. Okay, Einstein's quotes, it's not high quality. It's more like arrogant attitude. That's my impression. Some other quotes from Einstein, yeah, like don't worry about your problems in mathematics because my problems in mathematics is bigger, right? What he's saying is, hey, I am Einstein, okay? I still have problems with mathematics, okay? Mathematics is still very difficult to me. So if you have some difficulty with mathematics, that's fine, okay? Because I am the Einstein, okay? And I still have difficulty with mathematics. Very arrogant attitude, very condescending, very presumptuous that he's this big figure, okay? So, and he brazenly declared God does not roll the dice. How does he know? He thinks he knows everything, right? I call that arrogance. Okay, so yeah, and when it comes to Mr. Galileo's quotes, that's very, very, very cool stuff. Okay, so yeah, it's not a proof that Galileo was more right than Einstein. Okay, but it's an indication of character. Okay, and intelligence and when Mr. Galileo came up with his theories, his book was banned. All right, it was illegal to read his books. Okay, it was regarded as heresy. If I come out with this article in physics, most likely it won't be even published. Okay, it will just ignored, dismissed, and buried. All right, like stillborn baby or death at arrival, kind of. Yeah, people will just ignore it, just like they did to my previous works. Okay, it won't be read, it won't be famous or controversial. No, it will just ignored and dismissed and buried. Yeah, but that's fine by me. Why? I had fun writing it, so mhm, I call that a success because I don't depend on other people's perception for my happiness. Okay, I just enjoy writing movie. I mean, making movies, writing articles, running for campaign. I enjoy the process. Okay, so result, whether I get elected or not, or published or not, or that's not important. That's irrelevant. Okay, yeah. I just still call it a success. It's a great hobby. Okay, I get to pay my bills. I got my day job right as a lawyer, and I get to. I'm healthy, happy. You know, yeah. Though I'm single, so what? I'm happy. Yeah, and stay out of trouble because I keep myself very busy. Great hobby, article writing. Yeah, whether it get published or not, that's irrelevant. It's not important. So why don't I do YouTube Live or Facebook Live? I did once Facebook Live when I was in vacation down in Kenai. But the reason I'm not doing live typically is that because I drink, sometimes I say things that I regret having said that. Okay, because when I record, film this, yeah, I drink. So sometimes I say things that I wish I didn't say. Yeah, so that's why I just record this and then upload it. Sometimes I decide not to upload it. Okay, well I do save it in an external hard drive. Okay, so just in case I become wealthy in the future, I have then I will have my own website then yeah, I will upload all the dirty humanology, alright, episodes. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we talked enough about physics, okay? We gave enough service. Yeah. So Einsteinian world is about absolutivity, absoluteness of speed of light, right? And absoluteness of static observer versus absoluteness of moving person, absolute speed and absolute speed zero. That's what Einsteinian world is about. It's about absolutivity. It's not about relativity at all. Okay, if you think about it. So that's self contradiction right there, in a sense, conceptually. So Einstein's theory is more about absolutivity. It's not about relativity. Okay, so yeah. Yeah. We'll take 5 minutes break. Okay. So it's been like 50 minutes already. So we'll stop at the start. Okay. Yeah. Isn't that pretty? That's beautiful. Yeah. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Okay.